All right, so I got through week 3 of chemotherapy, and it was pretty rough. At the beginning of my plan, I had this idea of creating a daily video through this whole treatment, but it just won't be possible. It was my second round of chemotherapy, and it was pretty rough, I'll tell you. So I don't think going forward making a daily video is gonna be possible for me. The symptoms just they may get worse as we go through, further into the treatment. So I think I'm just gonna do some weekly summaries. So this will be my week 3 summary. Um, it starts off just like any other round of chemo. Mondays, I go to the treatment facility and I have the IVs um, that I have the medication administered through. And then, I go home that same day with the chemotherapy pump and then with the medication that will get released through this pump all the way through Wednesday. But Monday was similar to the first round of chemo. I didn't feel much through the actual uh, initiation process. It was show up at 9 in the morning and stay there about 4 hours, and then I get to go home. But I don't know. It must have been early evening, around 5 p.m., 6 p.m. perhaps, that my energy just dropped completely. It was like drained, and it just hits you suddenly. The my legs. It always starts with my legs having pain, and I just wanted to get some rest. And so on Tuesday, same thing. I was completely drained. I didn't even want to get up. If I got up, I just wanted to just lay down and take a nap. And my throat was very dry, and I did take a little bit of honey to avoid um, getting further dryness. So that did seem to help somewhat. Um, but just that was, I guess, I was still pretty tired. My legs hurt a little bit. Um, but Wednesday was pretty rough, because that's when I started to have like these acid reflux, and from there it just got worse. Um, it my I had my gums started to get a little soreness, the upper jaw here, and it feels like when you floss really hard and your gums are very sensitive and tender, and that's what happened at first. I felt like at first I had brushed too hard, but um, they just started getting a little more painful. Um, no blisters on the roof of my mouth. The dryness was still there, and so I had to constantly sip water throughout the night, to avoid that, because it gets really really dry. And so yeah, Wednesday I took my pump back, and from there, I mean, it just the stomach pain and the acid reflux was horrible. I could barely sleep. I didn't even want to move, because if I twisted my body or even got up to go to the restroom, um, the acid would just stir up in my stomach so bad, and it would just burn, all the way through my throat, and it was just unbearable, really. Um, and it it did help that I would drink. This time I had some coconut juice, and that actually did help a little bit, because uh, whenever I burped, it it was kind of soothing in the throat. So this time I didn't want to drink anything warm or cold, or I mean, I'm sorry, didn't want to drink anything warm really. So I just kind of stuck with something a little bit cool, even though it's still difficult to swallow cold water. So you have to take small sips. Um, uh, Tuesday through basically Thursday, it's just the whole body is very sensitive to the cold, even more than the first round of chemo. So it was really rough, and really the stomach um, issue, the stomach pain, and it was very sensitive. I was able to eat, and yeah, as far as like fruits, I stuck with watermelon. I ate a few pear fruit, bananas, cantaloupe, but um, I try to avoid anything that's really too sweet because I feel like anything excessively sweet, like that honey, um, like after I think Wednesday, I didn't even want to try any honey because I felt like it would probably irritate my stomach. But by Friday, that stomach acid had come down, and I was able to sleep a little more comfortably, eat a little more comfortably, and I did have some. I would get nauseous in the morning because my stomach was empty, and so I just had to basically make sure that I eat, that I have something in my stomach. I ate some oatmeals, or I ate oatmeal, and that was pretty good. I wasn't too constipated this time around, and that's pretty much it. Um, I'm gonna try to see if I could maybe do some physical activities. I miss working out. Man, I miss watching baseball games, and I'm just gonna try to see if maybe on my off weeks I can maybe steadily get back into a workout routine, because I've already lost like 20 pounds since this whole cancer diagnosis, from my surgery up to now, to the third week of chemo. So I really miss working out, and so I'm gonna try to just maybe just get into it a little bit. My off weeks seem to be pretty good, and so um, we'll continue with my off week, and I'll do a summary after my off week, which will be almost week 4. So I'm almost through with a month here. So we'll see what happens from here on forward, and hopefully the symptoms or the side effects uh, don't get too intense. But yeah, that third week, man, it was very, very rough. So I did tell my doctor about it, and he prescribed some like anti-acid medication. So I'll try that out on my third round of chemo, and we'll go from there. So we'll see what happens. All right. Well, thanks for watching.